Our thoughts and feelings are our own and are not representative of Electronic Arts as a whole or anyone else.
Once again, it's time for the Team Lift podcast with your hosts, Brandon Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Let's go ahead and get right into the show. What's up, everybody? We're back once again for another episode of the Team Lift Family Get-Together Jamboree Social.
It's an ice cream social.
It's an ice cream social with that. Yes. Oh, man. I'm dragging ass, dude. I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
It was a great weekend. Okay. So I don't know if you follow me on Facebook. I think you do.
Yeah.
So you saw this past weekend, I was out on the road and I went to Schellenberg, Texas, which could definitely be used as the setting for Get Out Part 2. Whitest town in America. Okay.
I told you should have sent me that glimpsey so I could know where you were, just in case it just stopped, and then I would be able to call the cops and be able to send some people to go help him.
Let me tell you
at XYZ location.
I sent the poster with the address on it out to so many family members and friends. I was like, hey, here's where I'm going to be this weekend. And my mom said, why did you send it to all of us? I said, I need you to know the address for where I'm at. Because if I don't make it back tonight, you send the National Guard. And you flash me in the face and make sure I come back from the deep place, okay? And I was like, yeah, some shit went down if I don't come back tonight.
I told you, if you come back wearing a hat, we're going to have words.
Oh, bro, if I came back wearing like a bow tie and a fez, just go ahead and take me to a counselor. So it was crazy. I get there, and I've never felt so bad for a booker. So the promoter of this show sucks at promoting. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to put that out. I'm not even going to use their name. They just suck at promoting. And they plan this show, but they don't figure out that they planned a show on the same day of the biggest festival in a small country town. Now, if you ever been in a small Texas town, you know, small Texas town and festivals, you don't compete against a festival.
Yeah.
People wait all year for that festival to come.
You can't even fucking get around in the town because everything's clogged.
Right, for this festival. Downtown's blocked off for their 4th annual sausage festival. And downtown is blocked off for like 4 or 5 blocks.
I don't know why you're worried. This sounds like the gayest town in Texas.
Bro, had there been a gay side to this, I would have had a good time. This was not gay at all. This was extremely country white. Like, and it was like I kept trying to figure out, like, when people were asking me what was it like, I didn't know whether to compare it to Arlen, Texas from King of the Hill or Mayberry from the Andy Griffith Show. It was really a weird conglomerate of all those. Like, their downtown looked like downtown Mayberry. It was that fucking old. It was just old and beat down. It looked like every other small town in Texas. It was really depressing. And I was just like, we're booked on the same day as this sausage festival. Everybody and their freaking uncle was at this sausage festival. So I'm starting to look around when I'm walking the sausage festival because I got there early. So I was like, well, I'm in town early and I want to try to learn this town and incorporate some stuff into my set. And I'm at the sausage festival and I'm walking around, I'm looking and I'm like, there's a black person. There's a black person. There's a black couple. Oh, there's another black guy. He and I look about the same age. Shit. He's got a dinner plate belt buckle on and creases in his Wranglers. Can't trust him. Okay. So this is pretty much what I'm getting with Schellenberg. And I'm like, this is a weird vibe. There's 5 black people. I'm still counting all of them on this one hand. And so when I showed up, I was like, wait a minute. When the other comedians get here, because the other comedians are all black, the town will have had an increase in its black population by 50%. Like, it was a boon in the African-American community.
50% of the African-American community is not going to be at the sausage festival.
Yeah, that's it. And so I was sitting here going through it, and I, if you watch my video, I'm talking to this couple, and the guy doesn't really talk much. The lady does, but she's kind of scared to be on camera. And then I start thinking, this is the town that they send people to when they're on, like, witness protection. You testify against a mob, they hide you in Schellenberg, nobody ever fucking finds you again.
Yeah.
Because the people there can't find themselves.
Unless that sausage festival keeps growing.
Yeah, bro. 4th annual is getting bigger. And she keeps telling me, yeah, no, the big one is when we do the Centennial in August. And I was like, and I kind of want to go back for the Centennial because the comedy show, I would not go back for comedy for this town again. So it was like a long weekend. Here's how bad the promoter was. They had a full bar in the back, and I showed you guys pictures. Man, I'm talking like premium liquor, like Patron Lime and Ciroc and Sky Vodkas and, any kind of whiskey we could have wanted. It was all back there, They even had honey versions of every whiskey that was back there. Just in case you wanted the honey ones to, because you had a cough. They had everything for you.
No sausage?
No sausage. And no food. They did not provide us with. Okay, but here's the thing. There were food trucks outside the event center. We were performing at the Civic Center. So there were food trucks like you would see at a fair set up outside, and they were cooking. And there was one that was Kathy's Country Kitchen, KKK. And I was like, what the fuck? And Kathy was an old black woman. So I was really like, what the fuck? And I was like, what is really going on here?
Confusion all the way around here.
And Kathy told me, these white people don't like it when I use it, but I'm going to use it, and they still going to pay to eat it. And I was like, you are spicy, Kathy. I was lost, bruh. I saw a woman come up to me wearing a KKK T-shirt that was a black woman. And white, red lettering, too. So I'm thinking, like, what in the Grand Wizard Nation is this? But yeah, KKK, but on the back, Kathy's Country Kitchen. And I was like, I'm done. I am done. This is Kathy with a K is losing her damn mind here in Schellenberg, okay? She was the other black people in the community, and her husband and their family, and they were all working in that. So they weren't even coming into the show. They were working. But I was like, this shit's getting ridiculous. This shit's ridiculous. So I get in there. The other comedians started showing up, and I said, man, did you guys go to the Sausage Festival? And they were like, I thought you were joking about that. And I said, no, I was really live from the Sausage Festival. But where's it at? So we're supposed to do a meet and greet at 6:30. Nobody's there. Nobody's there for the meet and greet. 6:30 to 8, we're supposed to do a meet and greet. About 7, we find out that the headliner, the rapper ESG that's supposed to headline the show, hasn't even left Houston yet to come to the show. It's like, what do you mean he hadn't left Houston? She just left. He just called to say he left. Well, you guys want to start your show at 8 o'clock? Who are we going to perform for? Each other? I don't need to go up on stage if we're just going to perform jokes for each other. We can sit here at this table for the meet and greet and do that.
Yeah.
One of the other comedians is like, man, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know. Y'all want to go to the Sausage Festival? So we all pile in 2 cars and we go to the Sausage Festival. And we're walking around the Sausage Festival, and they're like, I thought you were fucking around about
Sounds
this.
like a really bad joke. Like 5 black comedians go to the Sausage Festival.
Oh, bro, yeah. So we went to the Sausage Festival, and it's just getting worse. And then I'm pointing out something to them. I said, you see that one police truck over there? And it was like a Ford Escape, right? They said, yeah. I said, it's the only police vehicle I've seen since I've been in town. And they went, what? I said, I think there's only one cop in this town. And they said, how do you say that? I said, because I drove all the way out to the west side of town to the edge, and I drove all the way out to the east side of town to the edge.
Took about 10 minutes.
And I drove all the way to the north side of town, and I've driven all the way far south as you can go. And they went, and that's the only police vehicle you see? Yes. And he's at the Sausage Festival. So some shit goes down anywhere else in town, that crime's not going to be reported. Mm-hmm. But then again, if you commit a crime in that town, everybody knows it was your punk ass, and they're just going to say, Micah Ray did that shit, and he lives over there. And so I was like, oh, my God, this is crazy. So I'm taking them around. Then we leave. We go back to the event. The promoter's like, okay, you guys ready to perform? And one guy comes in, okay, buys a ticket at 8:30 and says, yeah, I'm going to buy my ticket now, but I ain't coming back to 9:30. I got to go get cleaned up, dressed up. Most people ain't even going to come out of their house to 9:30. What do you mean? He said, yeah, nobody comes out after dark. And I looked at the woman. I said, he's not lying. People don't come out until it's dark. I said, you booked a show in spring. Why didn't y'all make it late or late show? And I said, didn't anybody think about the Sausage Festival? Well, we thought we could really make a killing in this small town because they don't get a lot of entertainment. Yeah, but they got a sausage festival.
Yeah.
So you're not competing with the Sausage Festival. And I don't know if you looked at this town, but not a big demographic for black comedians in chopped and screwed rap. Okay, I'm just saying. didn't see a lot of people looking like that was my target audience. And I always tell people, comedians, we don't write jokes for colors. We write jokes to make people laugh. And the guys I work with, they, not black comics. They're just comics, and they don't care what color the audience is. And they're really universally well-received jokes, the kind of comedians I perform with.
Yeah.
No, we stood out. We were black comics today. We were black comics because I was like, this is not going well. And so even then there was a full bar. This woman spent more on alcohol than anybody I know to have no one show up. I'm talking premium, top shelf liquor, Patron, Sky, Ciroc. It's back there. We're not hurting.
Yeah.
It's the good stuff. So I was just like, she lost her ass on the bar. And she paid a bartender to come and serve us drink. Like, the bar was open to the point where it was so much liquor back there. Do you want to take a bottle? No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Do you want to drink something? Make yourself something? No, I'm good. I really don't want to get drunk. I'm getting the fuck out of here tonight. I'm not staying all night here. She only gets a hotel room. Like I told her, don't get hotel rooms for us. So my buddy said, yeah, she had 2 rooms booked for 4 comedians. I said, 2 rooms with 2 beds in them. I said, did she think we were all just going to share a room? Did she not realize 2 of y'all were bringing your wives? I mean, what did she think was going to happen in these rooms? So I was just like, this is just disappointing all the way around. So I was like, I couldn't wait to get the hell out of Schellenberg. It was just like... But the audience that did show up had a good time. We took pictures with a lot of people. I actually signed some autographs. Shocked the piss out of me. People liked my set. But I was like, I'm probably never coming back. Ever. Not if these people promote.
It's the kind of tiny town that like could be erased from the map and nobody would know it's gone.
Wouldn't even know it was missing. And it was, okay. Like, I did a joke saying that their mall... Everywhere else is called a Family Dollar, but there it's called the Mall. And it seriously was across the street from the Dollar General. There was only 2 restaurants in town, and it was a Whataburger and a Dairy Queen.
Wow.
That was it. There was one, like, I think a locally owned, Southern food place, and then a Mexican food restaurant. And I said, yeah, Texas town. So it's got to have those. Not one Asian. I couldn't find a Chinese restaurant in this town. I asked him where McDonald's was, 15 miles to the north in LaGrange.
When I go up to Waco, sometimes we go out to eat a lot while I'm there because reasons. There's a bunch of stuff that's in Waco, but there's a little town that's right below it that's called McGregor. It's McGregor. There's literally just one place that we go in McGregor if we're going to go to McGregor, and it's an Italian place of all fucking things.
And it's just in the middle of nowhere. And you just
it's on the main strip, and the main strip is full of buildings that I swear to God have probably been there for at least 100 years.
Yeah. Welcome to Schellenberg.
It looks like you could shoot a Western there and not really have to redress the town all that much.
Bro, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That is, bro, it was just like, this is small town Texas. Like, it's so small that small towns in Texas make fun of Schellenberg. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I mean, and they're lovely people. They were lovely people. But one of my buddies watched my video on my Facebook, and he kept noticing that white people did not want to make eye contact with me. Like, it was like they were scared. Like, if they looked in my eye, they knew I was going to get in their soul. So they were like, they look up and look down real quick, and I was like, Oh, and God. And I saw white people trying to dance to the "So Won't You Wiggle It," and I was like, "Oh my God, no! Don't do that! Don't do that!" And they were all older white women, and they were trying to dance to it, and their kids were out there with them. And then there was one white guy with no rhythm. Like, at one point, I was like, Schellenberg should have a sausage festival and a fundraiser to get him one dance lesson because it was pretty bad. I almost went over there to give him the Heimlich. I thought he was dying. I didn't know what he was doing, and I was like, you literally cannot dance. I mean, I don't even know. And he wasn't drunk. Like, I kind of went over to listen to him and see if he was slurring his words, and he was really holding a legitimate conversation. I'm like, oh, he's not drunk. He just has no rhythm. Like, I don't even know what the fuck he was dancing to. It wasn't the bass line. It was like maybe he heard a cowbell in the background of the song because he was not on rhythm with anything in the song or anybody else dancing. And I was like,
maybe the song just needed more cowbell.
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not racism if it's true. He's that guy. So he's the one where it's like, white people can't dance. That's racist. No, watch him. Oh, no, we really can't. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I was like, watch him. He's giving you all a bad name. He is terrible. And it was just like, it was my whole weekend, man. That was my Saturday. I shot my Saturday in the foot to go to Schellenberg. And then I was so freaking tired that I slept all day because I drove back. I was like, I don't give a damn. I'm not
waiting
here
for the banjos to chase me out of town.
Hell no. Ain't nobody going to be asking me to squeal like a pig or burning a cross in my front yard. I'm out. Fuck this town. I left. And I kept trying to figure out who booked this shit. Who thought, hey, we should play Small Town Texas? Why? Did you come look at this town before you booked this? And the one lady, the promoter, was there. Well, my parents have lived here their whole life, and she was a white woman with some black kids. And I was like, just because you like black dick doesn't mean everybody does in this town. And it was just, dude, she lost her shit. Their company, I don't know how she survives this. I don't know how they make this one up. Didn't pay us. You know, we were supposed to cut off the door. And I started joking with the other comedians, like, we're all going to be able to get at least one 44-ounce Coke and a Snickers bar. And they're going to give us a Snickers bar and say, well, you're not yourself when you're angry because we're fucking mad that we took a cut off the door and they're not making money on this event. Did not get paid. All the other comedians were like, so we drove an hour and 50 minutes, hour and 45 minutes to not get paid. I went, might as well did a free open mic because that's what this was.
Yeah.
They got a free open mic out.
Could have just stayed in town.
Yeah. Saved my gas money. Fucked off, did something here, not been tired, not had to go to the sausage festival. But if I would have never known about the sausage festival had I not gone. But I'm telling you right now, not seeing Schellenberg in my future. Long ass weekend. Oh, Sunday, well, you and I kicked it. We did WrestleMania, which was fucking amazing. I loved WrestleMania.
Yep. We'll
do a special about WrestleMania. We'll talk about that on that. I don't want to get into it. There were two different opinions on WrestleMania in this room. We're going to need some backup on this one. So after that crazy weekend, I was ready to get back, and I was ready to do a show that got back into normal, some normalcy back in my life because it was not in Schellenberg. Did I tell you I'm never going back to Schellenberg until
I don't even know where it is.
Bro,
like you said it was somewhere over near Houston. That's good enough for me.
Bro, that's it. It's like if you left, it's somewhere between Austin and Houston in the middle of nowhere. It is like seriously the fifth circle of hell in Dante's Inferno. It is the fifth circle, small Texas town.
Yeah.
And everything that comes with that. I was like, nope, won't do this again. I will not work with that promoter again. I did a show in a small Texas town before in Dumas, Texas. And Dumas is probably smaller, maybe a little bit. Dumas is a little bit larger than Schellenberg, but we sold the place out and I got paid.
Yeah.
Not this place. Nope, I won't work with them.
Everybody's too busy stuffing sausages in themselves.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that was... And there was an Anytime Fitness downtown. That shocked me. When I was walking downtown, I went, there's an Anytime Fitness here. Why? Who uses it? It was empty. I don't even think it was open for the sausage festival. Because I was like, nobody's working out here. They're all just getting fat.
Well, they're working out.
Sausage.
They're getting that sausage to their mouth.
Oh, yeah. That was the only workout. Sausage and beer. And I was like, I got to get the hell out of here. Okay. One of my buddies, he was asking where it was at. And I guess he Googled it and he found a website that said the top 10 things to do in Schellenberg. Okay. And the top 4 were churches. And I was like, what? He said, yeah. And then there's a country sausage or a country market or meat market there. I said, I passed that on my way into town. He said, yeah, that's like the hot ticket item. I went, yeah, they're not open because the sausage festival is today. So it was terrible. Terrible experience all the way around. So I would never, ever, ever go back. I am done. That was all I had to say about them. So I don't know about you. No, I'm not going back.
I'm just not going to go to any town that has a sausage festival.
Bro, that's the greatest thing that ever happened to this town and in my life was the sausage festival. At least I got to laugh my ass off at the sausage festival. There was a polka band, like the Polka Museum. The Texas Polka Museum is downtown Schellenberg.
Is that one of the top 10 things to do in Schellenberg?
It made the top 10, but it wasn't in the top 5. And I don't understand why it wasn't number 1.
It should have been.
Yeah. I did not go find any of it. The Catholic church that was there, I don't know if it was a wedding, had more cars parked at it than we did. I said,
The
damn.
church was probably offering up parking for a fee to fund the church for the sausage festival.
It possibly was, because there were cars all up and down the street by the Catholic Church, and it was only a few blocks away. So it was within walking distance. You could walk off a Buzz by the time you left the church and got to the sausage festival. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna go back through when we do the post of the show and just fucking like write down every single time we say sausage festival just to see what the number is.
bro, first of all, there are people that are going to listen to this show and be Googling, damn, I want to get in on that sausage festival. It's just, I'm just being honest. It's there. I didn't know about it till I got there, but I know this much. If I was promoting the show, I wouldn't have went against it. I would not have competed against it, because you do not beat sausage festivals in small town Texas. You know what would have beat us? If they would have had one of those fly-by-night carnivals that usually goes in a Kmart parking lot, you know, with the tilt-a-whirl and those rides, that would have pulled more people than us. Small town Texas. It was terribly promoted. Man, let's get into some video game news, because I know I just spent minutes telling you about the horror story that is Schellenberg. Okay, I'm going to get into it. HTC releases full-body tracking code for use with Vive and trackers.
So yeah, they have these little pucks that you can attach to things that have the little Vive sensors in them, and then report back via Bluetooth, just like the controllers do. Mm-hmm. And they've released the code that they use to develop a full body tracking system that uses those little pucks. So you can actually like have your feet be tracked and have your arms be tracked and your torso.
Yeah. Okay, so they're really trying to do some stuff now,
What's
like
really
full-body
funny-
tracking.
What's really funny is some asshole out there thought it would be hilarious to attach one to the front of an Oculus Rift to use the HTC Vive tracking system to track their headset.
Oh.
So they don't have to use those stupid camera things anymore.
That's messed up. Okay. Here's what kills me. Now, right now, HTC and developers are still in the early stages of building out the Vive tracker ecosystem, but later this year, the company plans to open the device up to wider sale to businesses and consumers beyond just developers.
Yeah.
So these are basically development kits, technically, huh?
Yeah. Well, the tech is still in development. It's going to go on sale, I think, this summer. They're selling a new head strap, which is pretty awesome. It's a rigid head strap with built-in headphones. So you literally just like pull the back of it off and pull the front and then put it on and let go, and it retracts in and just locks onto your head. And then you just push the headphones down over your ears, and that's it. You just take that one piece on and off instead of having to put the headphones on or put the headset on and then put the headphones on and then connect the headphones and all that other shit. It's really going to be nice and convenient.
Nice. Oh, I can't wait to see this get done. Man, so leave it to HTC, still leading the way. Let's stay with the VR news. This one here, we talked about this show. We talked about this subject matter. But Oculus co-founder and Rift creator Palmer Luckey departs Facebook, which we kind of felt that was going to happen for a long time, but we didn't know what they were going to do with him. And for people who may not remember, Palmer Luckey basically... I don't even know what to say. He's not really the creator of Oculus.
Well, he started working on a headset by himself. John Carmack got involved with the headset. Then Palmer Luckey created a company, created a Kickstarter, started working on it in earnest, and then the company got sold to Facebook for $2 billion. Actually, it was actually $3 billion, but they only told the public about $2 billion. Mm-hmm. Most of it was cash. It was like $400 million in cash, and the rest of it was all stock in Facebook. So I mean, even if he leaves Oculus, it's not like he's not going to be a fucking billionaire anyway, because he's still going to have a ton of fucking stock in the company. He's just not going to be the CEO anymore. And the reason he's not going to be the CEO anymore is because he decided it was a good idea to fund Nimble America and pissed literally everybody in the tech world off. Nimble America was a group that was purveying memes and false news about the election that was pro-Donald Trump during the campaign cycle last year in the summer.
Right. I
They
remember.
gave him like $10,000, I think, something stupid like that. And then that got out.
That he gave him 10 grand.
Yeah, and then after that got out, he kind of basically just disappeared. Like, you know that gif of fucking Homer Simpson just disappearing into the bushes?
Into the hedges, he just goes back into hiding.
That was him, until he had to fucking do a deposition in court in Dallas for the Facebook v. Bethesda trial. He was not seen in public from like middle of last summer all the way up until October or November.
Yeah, and here's our thing. I don't think anybody had a problem. You know, fuck, donate your money where you want to donate your money. The problem was that Nimble America has been linked to some far right-wing agendas, okay? They're definitely alt-right, okay? Or as I like to say, fucking dirtbag racist. Okay, there, we said it. That's what I don't mean, we don't have to put I don't really go out there and I see somebody burning a cross and go, I wonder if those guys are alt-right. I'm going to go, those fucking dirtbag racists, okay? That's what they were. Yeah. And they were linked to it. So the word comes out that your CEO just made a $10,000 donation to dirtbag racist company. It's not going to be good press for you.
Yeah.
And so he did the right thing. I'm going to get the fuck out of the picture. I'm going to lay low. I hope this shit blows over. It does not blow over. Like, it's everywhere. Like, you and I were covering it on the podcast. And then it seemed like after you and I covered it on the podcast, every video game outlet had a story about this the next week, because I saw it on GameSpot. I saw it on, Forbes.com was covering it in their little video game section. And I was like, okay, this dude's screwed. This story is picking up steam.
The writing is on the wall. I think that they had to keep him on as CEO until after the trial ended. And then once the trial ended, they were like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I think they wanted him gone by that point because he
not only that, I mean, it's not just that. That was the tip of a very long spear of him saying shit in public that never came to be later, that just pissed people off. Like, first they were like, oh, the Rift's only going to be $350. It debuts at $599. It doesn't have fucking full tracking. You can only do sit down. Originally it was going to be like a stand up and walk around the fucking room kind of thing. Then later on, you know, he promises things and then the company never fulfills on them.
None of the stuff he would promise came to be. And that's where, it took him forever to deliver the damn product to people who pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
And we covered that on the show.
They went for a release date crown because they knew that Vive had a finished package, but they wanted the Oculus name out there before the Rift name got out there, because they were the first to like publicize wanting to do VR, and so they thought they had to continue to be the technology leader and release first. And all's releasing first got them was a lot of pissed off people who couldn't do anything but sit in a chair and use an Xbox controller.
Yeah, and what happened? You and I talked about this last summer. It wasn't even funny. It was almost a 9-1 at one point, where for every one Oculus Rift sold, there were 9 people that were on the HTC Vive.
Yeah, and not to that end too is like the shipping troubles. Like, they weren't even able to deliver the unfinished package that they released until to the majority of their backers and people who had actually purchased it until nearly 6 months after it had fucking debuted. Like, you want to talk about how Nintendo has trouble fucking delivering a console. These motherfuckers are just trying to deliver a headset.
Yeah.
And one tracker and one Xbox controller, and they can't fucking do it for 6 to 8 months after their release date.
And it's $150 over their initial suggested price.
Yeah.
And you can't get it for 6 months after the debut.
And it's not complete until almost December, because I believe they released the Oculus Touch on December 15th. Which Oculus Touch, to be honest, is a really good solution for hand tracking and for manipulation in VR. It relies on a very, very janky ass tracking system to like track it in 3D space, but the actual technology that it has, like, you can do full finger manipulation. Like, you can see your hands move when you're using it. It's a nice, light, well-crafted piece of tech. But if they would have just waited to release until December when Touch was done and released a full package with a full tracking system that actually worked and priced it at $599, I would say Oculus would probably be the tech leader at this point. but Vive would have had a year head start on them almost, and that's why they didn't do it.
And so what we do know is like, so back in December they do the Oculus Connect, and it was OC3, and he missed that. And that
He didn't miss that. They were like, you were not going.
Well, okay. Remember the whole thing was that when they asked where he was, they said, "Oh, he decided not to come because he didn't want to be a distraction." And I was like, "You were probably told not to come because you are a distraction." And
He's always been a distraction. I never thought, like, even way back in the day when they were doing the Kickstarter, looking at him and the way that he talked in public, I was like, this thing blows up, he's not going to be at the company for very long. He's like, I want to say like the guy who knew how to grow something but doesn't know how to maintain it. And so like he'll run off. He'll probably spend a few years in obscurity, and then he'll decide he wants to do something, and he'll have the money to do it. He'll start up another company. He'll grow something pretty big, and then he'll drop out of that company too.
he'll sell this to whoever the highest bidder is and move on to this next idea.
You know what it reminds me of? And this is going to be a horrible comparison because they are nothing alike, but it reminds me of Notch. It's like Notch created Minecraft, and Notch, once he created Minecraft, he didn't know what the fuck to do with it, so he sold it, and now he's just retired, basically.
Yeah, he not even thinking about a new game. He's done. He's sitting done. I just goof off and be rich, and I don't blame him. Man, just a unfortunate thing for a kind of a unfortunate guy, man. It was definitely a crazy week for him. Let's step to this story, man. You know what? Let's just go ahead. I'm gonna kind of skip around on this. I want to go to this one. Warner Brothers says HTC Vive is best VR system, and they have chosen it for Ready Player One.
Yep.
So, now, if I'm correct, that was their big announcement from Warner Brothers Pictures, that, you know, the Vive is the official partner for all VR content for Ready Player One, calling it the best system to represent the future of VR in the process. All right, and the Spielberg adaptation of Ernest Cline's 2011 sci-fi novel is set to be released this time next year. So we're looking at March of 2018. And I knew that they were working on some VR content for it. All right. And that's
So, I mean, that book, if you've ever read the book, it's literally 99.9% of it happens in a VR space. And so they are going to make something that ties in with the movie. And they're choosing the HTC Vive as their platform for releasing that content. So Warner Brothers has made a decision, and they chose the HTC Vive. And while Warner Brothers game division, like, they put out some really good games, but they make a lot of jank choices as to like how to promote their material and things like that, which can be questionable, but they're a good company. And if they're backing the Vive over the Rift, then that means that they see more of an install base on the Vive than they do on the Rift, and they see more potential there.
We've always said this.
They're following the steps of like Lucasfilm right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said this. Anybody that's been around tech as long as I have and you have, we know that every new technology is decided by the porn industry.
Yeah.
You know, Blu-ray, porn industry jumped on it. VHS, porn industry jumped on it. They didn't jump on Laserdisc. They didn't jump on Betamax.
If we're going to go by the porn industry standard here, then that means that mobile phones with VR tracking systems are porn's choice, because that's where the majority of porn is coming out for.
Oh, yeah. They're making... But one of the things that you start seeing when they were doing the high-end, they were like, the Vive was it was weird when I saw that name kind of mentioned. We've been looking at this headset to do stuff, and I was like, bro, what? Damn, porn industry, quit messing up everything I like. But I mean, it's just one of those interesting things, man. So I just thought, wow. So Warner Brothers is throwing down money, and they were one of the people that didn't do, you know, when the came time for HD, HD, DVD, or Blu-ray. Warner Brothers went Blu-ray the whole way with and like a lot of their back collection is still being released monthly to Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So they, you know, when they make an announcement of what they're going to get on, you might want to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
All right. Next big story. A Batgirl standalone movie and Josh Whedon is attached.
Yeah.
So give me some intel on this. I know Variety's running a story that she's going to get her own standalone movie, and that Josh Whedon is going to be the director. That's the only information I've seen on it, man. But I think he's going to be write, direct, and produce.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that they don't try to do the Killing Joke. I hope it is just an actual true Batgirl standalone film where she has her own rogues gallery. You know, it's her story about her being her, not her being a pawn essentially in the story. And I hope to fucking God that this means, and I'm an atheist, I hope that they do the like Bat family, like they do Batgirl, they do Nightwing, they do the Red Hood, you know, they do Batman Incorporated at some point, and they do the actual Batman movie, which has now gone through 2 different writers and 2 different directors. That would be nice. I think Warner Brothers kind of thinks that Batman is kind of like their safe place in a way. And they think that, you know, at this point, if everything else tanks, like if Justice League tanks, if the Aquaman movie tanks, if Flash tanks, Batman movies will still bring in crowds. And if they expand and include all the rest of the Batverse, like the Bat family, that they'll actually have success.
Yeah. Well, I mean, DC is hard to figure out because, okay, we know, what do we got? November, we're going to get Justice League. This summer, we're going to get Wonder Woman. I want to say that's coming in June. I think it's June or July. It's one of those two. Then December 2018, we'll get the Aquaman standalone. But this is what I know is in development right now. Suicide Squad sequel. Gotham City Sirens, a spinoff of Suicide Squad, starring Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn character, which we kind of knew that was going to happen. The Batman, starring Ben Affleck with Matt Reeves directing. We knew there was going to be a Shazam film, and we already know that there's going to be a Black Adam spinoff starring Dwayne Johnson. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to do standalones for The Flash and Cyborg as well.
Yeah.
So that's what we know to be true.
I don't think they're making a fucking Cyborg movie.
As much as I love Cyborg, and I was a Teen Titans reader in the 80s, I don't see him getting a standalone film.
Unless they play Cyborg up a lot and get people excited for a Cyborg movie in Justice League, I don't see them doing
Unless
a Cyborg
he
movie.
Can be Black Panther amazing, I don't see him doing
it. Yeah, it ain't that.
All right. So, let's go to the next big thing. Jeremy Renner, not going to be in Mission Impossible 6, but will be in Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I love that idea because that ties into Civil War, where Captain America has broke, Ant-Man and Hawkeye out of prison. They're gone. So they're on the run, which I kind of thought they were going to give me, a Dark Avengers movie out of that.
Yeah.
Where they operate outside of the law. But, hey, him and Ant-Man, I can live with that. That'll actually be good. I would really like to see that. That'll be really good. We're still waiting for Infinity War. That's not coming until May 4th, 2018. Mm-hmm. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp will be released 2 months later on July 6th, 2018.
So the other news, let's see, Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
Switching complete gears to another entirely different genre. Ryan Wilson, Dwight from The Office.
Yes.
It's going to be in Star Trek Discovery.
Which I was tripping out about that. So we got the young black lady that was Sasha from Walking Dead is going to be the captain on there, if I'm correct. She's going to be the captain of that new starship. And then Ryan Wilson's going over there. And he is... Did they say who he was playing?
He's playing...
I want to say it was Fenton Mudd or Harry Mudd. I forgot.
Harry Mudd.
Harry Mudd, yeah, the intergalactic criminal and con man. And it was a character that was originated during the 1960 Star Trek series.
So this series takes place after Archer, but before Kirk. So
which I don't get.
So he's reprising. He's going to be, I guess, the younger version of
the role that was on No Shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. I can't wait. I love him as an actor. So seeing him on Star Trek, I'm kind of geeked about that. More reason. But this is a weird one because this is the one that's going to be under CBS All Access. So it's not even a show that's going to be on TV it's going to be on their web platform.
Yeah, CBS is making their own Hulu for their own shows.
Right, which I think is weird, you know. Just
I mean, why bother? Just put it on fucking Netflix or put it on Hulu.
and get paid. I mean, because you'll get people to watch it. I don't understand the idea of thinking that a Star Trek would a crew of, you know, I don't know if they're bankable stars. I mean, they're known in geekdom. You know, Office has a pretty big geeky fan following.
Well, the thing that they're doing with this show that they're doing that's different as well is the main character is not the captain. The main character is one of the officers that's on the ship, and it's everything is told from her perspective, and everything is happening around her. So one, they're not doing a traditional Star Trek show, and then two, they're setting it in a time period which hasn't been explored before, which is technically in canon for the original series, but not in canon for the new films that have come out.
Right.
So they're giving us old Star Trek universe. So the original Star Trek universe and Star Trek Next Generation and the Generation movies and the original Star Trek movies all those are in one universe. And then there's the movie J.J. Abrams verse, which was created after Spock jumped back in time and changed history. So this is happening before Spock jumps back in time and changes history, which means it's happening in the original timeline. So it's an original Star Trek, original universe show set before Kirk, but after Archer. So it's a very, very strange beast to begin with. And then on top of that, they're going to put it on a platform that isn't fully formed yet. And I'm guessing that they're trying to use this as kind of like a carrot to get people to sign up for this service that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah. No sense to this whole thing. I don't want to see this show fail, but it seems like you're setting up a really good idea for a show to fail.
It's like, to put it in video game parlance, it's like Origin.
Why you got to go there?
Like, we have a perfectly good game distribution platform that your company is already working with, but you've decided that you want to take 100% of the profits from the thing that you made. So you spend billions of dollars and hundreds of man hours of time, thousands of millions of man hours of time to create this entire secondary service that nobody wants, and then you're going to ram it down everybody's throat because it's the only place that they can get your games. And I mean, it worked. Like, eventually, like, people download and play games on Origin
We just
because
talked
they
about
have
this
to.
recently, where it's getting to the point where everybody's got their own damn game server. So we have Steam,
Yeah.
and then you got Origin.
And then you got Green Man Gaming.
Yeah.
And you got Direct to Drive.
So all
and
these
you
different-
got GOG.
Yeah.
And you got there's like 2 or 3 other ones that are just for like shitty indie games. And then, you know, it's like television where you have a provider of the TV thing, which is like Time Warner, Spectrum, or whatever, and then each channel is just a thing that you subscribe to on that network. Well, now imagine all of those stupid fucking television channels are all going to go create their own digital distribution platforms, and they're each going to charge you $10 a month to access them. So if you want all of them, it's going to cost you like 10 times what it would have cost for cable.
Right.
Instead of just using Netflix or using fucking Hulu, or to a lesser extent Sling TV.
Yeah, because if you got Hulu, just put your fucking shows there and I will watch them. And you're going to get a kickback on the advertising dollars anyway. You're going to make money in the licensing that to Hulu. You're going to win. But no, don't make another fucking app that you think I'm going to download and subscribe to, because I won't ever see this Star Trek.
It's almost like the WWE network, really. Like, it's CBS is just going to make their own network like WWE did.
I will not bite. I love Big Bang Theory, but I haven't watched episodes in so long, and I wouldn't pay to finish out.
I would wait until the whole series is out, until they start selling it on some kind of physical media, and then just buy it there and watch it all there.
Yeah. I'm not figuring this new. I really don't get this whole thing. So when they were talking about, we're not going to put it on the TV. What? Okay, I'm out. I'm out. At that point, I was out. I'm still tracking the show to see what happens with it, but if it don't come to TV, I am out, bro. Any big things going on this week that I missed? I think I got everything.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, I do know that you picked up a new video card.
Mm-hmm.
The 1080 Ti.
Mm-hmm.
Did you sell your other one?
Yeah.
So you did get your 1080 sold?
Yeah.
Brandon, I'm going to tell you something. And I never thought this about you, but I tell everybody, I'm a console junkie.
Mm-hmm.
I buy consoles that I don't play just because I wanted those consoles or maybe for one game. You are a tech junkie, my friend. You just buy stuff that you're actually going to use in this tower of your computer.
Yeah.
So but you're a tech junkie because your 1080 was amazing. Your 1080 was not bad. It was amazing.
This is amazinger. By 35% more amazing.
35, is it noticeable?
Yeah, I've noticed it in the FPS numbers when I'm playing Overwatch. It goes from 120 to like 160, and then when I was on one of the menus, it was at 189.
So it really is. So it's increased.
Yeah, and like I noticed it immediately in VR. Immediately.
Man, you kill me. All right.
I mean, I installed it. I booted up raw data, and raw data had reset itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then it automatically detected settings and set them. It set everything to epic quality, and the game was perfectly like smooth as glass. So I turned up the fucking multi-resolution slider, which basically, or the resolution multiplier, which basically just causes the game to get rendered in a much higher resolution than it's actually going to be displayed at, so that things become clearer. And it just took it like a champion. It was just like, whatever, I don't care. And that's one of the most visually complex games that I've got for it.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. That is definitely interesting, man. I'm glad that worked out for you, tech junkie, which you definitely are. You are a tech junkie. I'm just going to admit it. I know it. I understand it about you. Let's see. I think that's it, though.
That's all.
So what we learned from this is that you're a tech junkie, welcome to the family, and not to go to Schellenberg. That's our week. That was our whole week, and I'm dying.
Oh, yeah. So our joke on the last episode?
Oh, yes, our new song.
We get a copyright strike for it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're taking our revenues.
Because we played...
We played like less than a minute of a song. So they're going to take revenues off of an hour of our work.
That's cool.
I just thought I looked in my phone and I was like, really? For that? Okay, whatever. I don't care. We can't make money off of it anyway.
Yeah, we don't get to monetize, so enjoy nothing. I would send them a check for 2 cents just so they can feel like they got something. But that episode lasts
Let's
forever.
see. Nothing plus nothing. Carry the nothing.
And let's see. If I carry the nothing over here, minus the tax on it, yeah, you're going to get nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, enjoy all your nothing. But we got a copyright strike? Bro, that means somebody might find our show because of that. We're infamous.
I guess. I don't know.
I love infamy. They're going to have to send us more subscribers in order to get more money, and I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Send us so many subscribers that we can quit our day jobs and do this professionally, and then we'll pay them. That'll work. All right, man. Let's get on out of here. It's been a great week. If anybody has any questions for us, you guys know how to hit us up. We're still taking all the money that we can for our boy Joe Nathan. He's still got that going on, and their family went through the loss. We just want to thank you guys for everything you've done for us and listening to the show. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you with our WrestleMania show. Peace. Thanks for listening to the Team Lift Podcast with your hosts, Brendan Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Join us again next week as we discuss more topics from geek culture. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter page @GoTeamLift, as well as our personal pages @Coach Silky and @ThighSide. You can direct questions and comments to us on our Twitter page, as well as find links to all of our social media outlets. Thank you for listening. See you again next week.